So many of our most pressing cultural arguments today pivot on words, on what they mean, on how they're defined, and who gets to define them, who gets to use them, who gets to apply them. I think that just to start with the case of the last summer, the summer of 2019's debate over the labeling of these detention centers as concentration camps. I think you saw the way in which, a term that has come to be associated with the Holocaust, even though it has a history that branches out beyond the Shoah. And even as scholars have shown within the context of Nazi Europe, the concentration camp was only one type of camp that the Nazis used. But nevertheless, it's so associated with the murder of 6 million Jews that there was a sense when Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, used it on the part of some, and particularly I think of the Jewish establishment, that she was demeaning the memory of the Holocaust. Whereas others were saying, well, first of all, there's this larger historical register to the term. You're saying the Holocaust is implicit, but it's not necessarily implicit. Or some said, yeah, she is referencing the concentration camps of the Holocaust. And if the idea of never again is to mean anything, then it has to be employed not just with regards to Jews specifically, but to counter any kind of dehumanization that involves some type of confinement of a group that's really not, seen guilty of any crime. I think it shows you the way in which terms do matter. This became a whole controversy of the summer 19, and one that, is endured to some extent to this day. Or, as you mentioned, the whole debate over whether fascism can be used to refer to the current administration, the Trump administration, I should say. Is this administration fascist? And there's been a whole interesting debate over that. I mean, are you understanding fascism as a historically specific ideology, in which case you might focus on the differences between, let's say, Mussolini and Trump? Or are you meaning fascism as a broader type of cultural style or discourse in which, there are certain resemblances that you can seize on that would make that analogy more persuasive, more tenable? I think that those are two excellent examples of why words matter. And I think that the controversy over the application of ghetto too, whether ghetto should be used to refer to the Jewish immigrant enclaves of late 19th, early 20th century Western European American cities, whether it's appropriate in the Nazi context, whether it's appropriate in the African American context. Right there, too, you see the way in which it's not only the place or the institution itself that can become contested, but the way in which we refer to it.